Alright. Okay, before we chat with them, Diamond Dust and the Meteorite Sword.
That makes no sense.
So rubbing in the dust. Okay, so press the Q, and we see 24 hours of that. Delicious. And we will down a swallow. And we will down a... let's see, what do we have? Let's first try, can we have both the poison and the... No, we can't. We can have either or. That's good to know. What does that do? No, let's actually reload. As you can see, the last time we saw that loading screen was more save files. Also had a very scary experience with the game just crashing and had a error prompt appear. I was afraid that the save had been corrupted. That would have been very unfortunate, eh? Okay, so we diamond dusted because then we have the Hangman's Learn for later. Yep. We probably won't try to drink our blood from the swallow. And we don't need to Reese extract, I need white honey. Sonia? No, I don't need more endurance regen, I don't think. What we do need though could be a lizard, also just because it looks cool. Here we go.
Aren't you eager to learn the truth?
I'd rather stay focused. Should I get the book from the tower?
Yes, hurry. We can't let Kalkstein get ahead of us. I hope that murderer swallowed the bait.
I think I made sure of that.
Right to the tower. Get a water. Don't know what that did, but sure. Great. Science Axie. Oh. Learned the Axie sign, which can temporarily turn enemies into allies. Okay. Money, 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 money. Meteorite, we can sell that. Torch, Salmon Ford, Suet. An unknown potion we now have 2 of. And dried fruit. Century Pharaoh. Candy. Sure. I need Salford's dust and an ancient magical treatise containing the lost knowledge of Al-Sur, including information on rituals enhancing creature growth and the secret of the thunder and shield spells. Let's read it. Madness Al-Sur managed to arrive at some surprising results. He came to the conclusion that he would discover the secrets of animating inanimate matter when he learned to animate energy. According to Al-Sur, a golem would work only when filled with a living power that would imitate a divine pneuma, a soul. The wizard did not have a chance to finish his research, but his experiments revealed the secret of the thunder and shield spells. Al-Sur was able to summon living lightning capable of locating and following its target, and a living shield capable of releasing such lightning. The fools would only see his discoveries as weapons, even more powerful than the V of Maribor or the infamous Koshi. However, I can clearly see that Al-Sur's thunder is yet another stop on the path leading to creating a perfect being. Glossary of Magic, down Iridium, all of the good stuff. Our quests. Rare precious metal, interesting feature. Repressive magic. Some magic. Some elements. Do. I'll let you read that if you want. Prepare to face Javed. Haven't we done that? Or are we just supposed to exit and then it happens? See, Bliss is still. Oh, it's not for 17 more minutes. Gotta hurry. And it's saving.
You'll soon learn the truth. Excited?
More than you think. Just one question. Where did you get the idea to assume Raymond's identity?
Clever. From you, of course. He was getting close and you trusted him. I would have been foolish not to take advantage of the situation.
Did you forget it would put you face to face with a Witcher? Well, I'd be foolish not to take advantage of this situation. Enough chatter. Now kindly lead me to where you've hidden the items stolen from Kaer Morhen.
Shout out to the misspelling of advantage in the subtitles. What in the hell? So we're hit with blinding and pain. And... oh, he's standing behind us. Here we go. Probably use a silver sword against this. Oh. Am I being too fast? I'm digging the soundtrack though. I give us... is it pain? What's pain? We almost got it though, using our steel sword. There we go. What now, Javed? Oh.
I come at your command, Master. I listen and obey as a genie would.
Professor, cut the crap and get in.
You see, Witcher? Too much water around for Azar to feel comfortable. Fire mages limited. He needs me to do the wet work.
Two birds with one stone.
We're absolutely destroying him. Good food, by the way.
Azar, you fool! Let the Witcher get the better of you. You nearly got me killed.
Silence. Back to the base of the trade quarter. Hurry before he recovers.
We shall meet again, freak.
All felt the battle in the swamp was the beginning of events that would soon rock Temeria. Sensing the approaching conflict, both sides were eager to test the enemy. A routine skirmish between patrols erupted into a regular battle. Led by unwavering faith, the Knights of the Order showed greater determination and emerged victorious. The Scoia'tael learned that freedom could only be achieved by shedding blood, their enemies and their own. Azar excluded me from the battle. When Triss woke me, heaps of bodies appeared before my eyes. It was the last time I was able to avoid taking sides.
You're mistaken. I have him under control. And not just him. They're all eating out of my hand. I regret that Foltest is away at the summit, but I trust you'll tend to the King's Council.
I assume you've resolved matters with Luvarden as well.
Yes, I made an offer and he accepted. He claims his superiors had similar plans, but we beat them to it. Men can do nothing but talk and then always claim the initiative.
And how is your Witcher?
I should be able to convince him.
Don't overdo it. Geralt can be exceptionally perceptive.
I know. I must get back. I'll contact you when it's all over.
Never let the Witcher guess what you hide from him.
Triss,
Should you be up? I'd rather make sure you've recovered completely.
How?
Don't worry, this won't hurt a bit. Well, you seem to be at full strength. It must be that unusual Witcher's metabolism.
Triss, how did I get here?
Pure coincidence. I was scanning for magic anomalies and happened upon a false trail set by Kalkstein.
You found me in the swamp? What happened there?
I don't know. The alchemist is still there, examining solid stone. But he won't find anything. The greater anomalies are here in Vizima.
Magic anomalies in Vizima?
Yes. I'd appreciate it if you could help me figure them out. But back to your health.
I thought I was at full strength.
You misunderstood me. Physically, nothing's wrong. It's your mind that worries me.
Explain.
You raved for hours. I had no choice but to read your thoughts to learn about your injuries and which poisons you took this time.
I'm sure you read beyond that.
I couldn't help it. Your thoughts were quite loud. In any case, I know about your recent adventures.
Can you help me?
Recover your memory? I doubt anyone can. But there's a small chance...
A small chance of what?
From what I saw, I think you would benefit by creating a stable personality.
Meaning?
Geralt, please, this is important.
Just limit the psychobabble.
You need to take a stand on the world's problems. It doesn't matter what position, just that you choose one. A strong identity may help restore your memory.
Can't you just tell me what you saw?
No, I don't want you turning into my vision of Geralt. I want you to decide for yourself who you are, without looking back.
I shouldn't take an interest in the past?
Exactly. Your memory should return in due course.
We'll see.
Geralt.
Okay, so Geralt was clearly conscious while Triss was having a magical mirror talk with someone. Geralt clearly knows that Triss is hiding something from him. Using my own meta-knowledge, I know that she's definitely hiding things from him. She's straight up lying to his face. And Geralt is perceptive. But yeah, Triss being a replacement for Yennefer here in the first game, Yennefer being a character from the books and Geralt's actual lover, bound to each other by destiny and so on. That what's going on now would not be possible and so on if Triss was not Triss. Same with the maybe rape that she made Geralt the victim of. Sure, I mean, who out there, as any, warm-blooded man, would not think, yeah, cool, redhead is just having her way with me. Cool, nice. But in the books, there is a time where Triss drugs Geralt and then has sex with him while he's unconscious. That is rape. And I won't hear any other explanation. Geralt did not consent. And by any and all means and definitions, therefore, it is rape. Doesn't matter that he's a man and she's a woman. Rape is rape. And rape is not a good thing to do. And Geralt did not like Triss as a result. And a bunch of other stuff he later found out which made him and a bunch of other people despise her. But the other witches did not know of this, I don't think. But of course it's all gone with Geralt's amnesia. And without metagaming and all, we don't have that knowledge. We have the knowledge that she's trying to get him under control of her. And with that we can assume she's manipulative, like most wizards. And we should be wary about her intentions and what she's saying. But she is still a sort of trusted ally and a wizard. So by all means, she can prove useful. And maybe, just maybe, who knows if we were lacking context of that conversation. But again, we should be wary. We can't trust her fully. Even if she is a sort of redhead. Sort of, because in the books she's not actually a redhead, but her hair colour here is closer to what it would be and what's described as in the books than the post box she turns into in 2 and 3. But let's actually look at the dialogue options now. Instead of talking about the books and analysing characters and events and so on. But yeah, chapter 3. And Azar stood no chance against the red meteorite sought with the diamond dust. Let's see, you said something about magic anomalies. How did you get here? Who are we talking to through the mirror? Let's start with the bottom and go up.
Who were you talking to through the mirror?
You heard me? Ah, sorcerer's business. Nothing important.
Sounded serious.
I had to make a few promises to learn about Salamandra.
You could.
Trust me, it was nothing important.
Yeah. No. I ain't gonna trust that, and with the knowledge we have on the table, would Geralt trust her with that? Sure, the baseline trust of, okay, this is a friend. But still, there's something fishy going on. We're not at the point of Azar posing as Raymond. That's not the level of distrust we're at. We're at the level of, okay, something's up. We gotta know what it is before we make any proper conclusions.
How did you get here?
Long story. When you men went chasing around,
Which proved effective.
by some miracle, I decided to look for Salamandra using unconventional methods.
Any results?
Very good ones. You'll learn it all in due time.
Why not now?
To get this information, I had to agree not to tell you. Patience, Witcher.
Okay. I know there's some light sexism going on. Also during her mirror talk. This is important and actually ties into a certain organisation that she is a member of, if I'm not mistaken. That was also in the books. We won't talk much about them right now, though, because that might spoil and ruin some surprises. We'll learn later in the game. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, of course, it's a world of sexism, especially against women in The Witcher. So, you know, the actual powerful women with magic and so on being sexist back against the men. Me and you, it's understandable, and I'm not going to sit here and about that while not talking about the sexism inflicted on the women. Sexism, no matter who it is against, is bad. And I think we can all agree on that. Because, you know, we should treat each other nicely, right? Right.
You said something about magic anomalies.
Various things can cause them, but more importantly, they can be the cause of true evil. When I last felt this way, you and a sorceress were trying to capture a genie, destroyed half a city in the process. You probably have no recollection, but a lot hung in the balance.
I don't recall.
I could use your help. I have some magic sensors that need to be placed around Vizima. They'll help us locate the anomaly's source.
All right, give me the sensors. I'll take care of it.
Always eager to please.
What are friends for?
I saw a perfect wall cavity in the trade quarter near Town Hall. Place one there, a second in the temple quarter near the entrance to the sewers, and the third in Vizima's cemetery. We'll create a typical Radcliffe triangle. You know, of course, that triangulation is most effective in these cases.
I'll see you later.
See you. Oh, I nearly forgot.
What?
Luvarden, a merchant, wants to see you. He hosts banquets at the new Neracourt.
I don't like banquets.
Important people will attend.
I don't know.
Including Princess Ada, whose curse you lifted. Apparently, she's slightly obsessed with you.
I'll think about it.
I'll be there.
All right, I'm convinced. Maybe I can gather some information there.
6 this evening. Here's the pass that makes you official in the trade quarter.
A pass?
Well, in addition to a quarantine, the authorities of Vizima have imposed martial law.
How'd I miss that?
It only covers the trade quarter, which you haven't entered.
So how do these passes work?
Only the quarter's residents are allowed to move about. I have a house here, so I was able to get a pass.
So what do I do?
Well, I registered you as residing here. Falsely, of course.
Let's ask about Geralt's identity and so on.
Listen, about my identity.
Progress already?
I'm still analyzing.
Geralt.
We'll, of course, be attempting to get as close to actual Geralt, book Geralt, as much as we can.
What's with the passes?
Well, in addition to a quarantine, the authority...
How'd I miss
It only covers...
So how do these
Only the quarter's residents are allowed...
So what do I...
Well, I read falsely.
Okay. We could rest.
I'll see you
But I
later.
don't think we need that. So, we are in Trade Quarter. And we are back in Vizima. Lodge of Sorceresses. Okay. Okay. People who once knew me will help us recover Geralt's memory. Sure. Okay, so let's look at our quests. All the King's Men. Don't need any trouble. Banquet with Luvarden. Got the Identity quest. Got the Equinox contract still. And we can get to the Temple Quarter and talk to the Gardener and solve it. The source. Magic sensors near the Town Hall, sewer entrance, and the third in the cemetery. So that's what those thingies on the walls were for, the reliefs. Destroy Salamander, which clearly feels at home in Vizima. Yes. Glossary. Lodge of Sorceresses. Those are the almost feminist sorceresses. The Lodge of Sorceresses was founded after the mutiny on Thanet Island as a substitute for the Council of Sorcerers. The founders' aim was to bring the war between Nilfgaard and the Northern Kingdoms to a close while maintaining the Mage's influence on the fate of the world. The organisation remains active to this day. It is effectively an association of the most powerful female mages from both the Northern and Southern realms. The Lodge has significant political influence, although its activities are not entirely understood by the public. Well, what they actually want is to rule the world. And make sure the world is ruled, not directly though, indirectly, by having all, the advisors to the kings and so on be female wizards or mages who are part of the Lodge, be their advisors, and therefore nudging the world in the direction they want. Now, them being female and all that, that's not where my issues with this organisation lies. Even if the baseline, what's it called, motivation is to, switch the power balance, which again, I'm neutral on that matter. I don't really... It's not an issue in my life. Probably isn't some's. Whether man or woman, or the other gender or the sex is trying to tip the balance, I personally don't really care. I mean, I want everyone to have a good time. That's really where I stand on this. But them wanting to secretly rule the world, or just rule the world in general, that's kinda bad in a way, Especially because the world would be ruled for their purposes, and they're a tight, smaller group. And that can only happen, awful things to the rest of the world. What's that it? Police. Triss found us in the swamp where we lay unconscious after the clash with Javed. Transported us to her house in the Trade Quarter and took care of Geralt until he came around. While lying there, awake, he overheard Triss gossip with a friend on the magic communicator. And we now know that the other sorceresses are also interested in Salamandra. Indeed. We have the glossary, we just had that. Locations. Triss's home. Or Triss home. Triss's home. It sounds better. I say so at least. And the possessive apostrophe could actually have an S extra after the apostrophe in this case, because Triss is a name. And not Drauna's home, as in home of Draunus. No, it is Triss's home. But that's English grammar, and we're here to play video games, not to analyse the grammar of some Poles in the 2007. After all, they misspelled advantage in the subtitles. But that's a minor thing, and, it's kind of cute, in a way, I suppose. Triss lives in a corner building in a small square where a statue of Plinth stands, bereft of its monument. The statue itself, which bore the likeness of an elven philosopher, was recently melted down to make a new bell for the cloister of the Order of the Flaming Rose. The sorceress has decorated her home very luxuriously, if not extravagantly. There are many expensive devices here, as well as magical components and equipment. Indeed. But yeah, the Order are They are something. Let's just put it like that. Kingdom of Temeria. I have 2 books to read. We also have advanced sorcerers and sorceresses. I'll let you read this on your own volition as I skim through it. Not because I don't want to read it, but it's law I by all means no. And therefore I'm being an egotistical bastard and not reading it for you. Brotherhood of Sorcerers ceased to exist after the revolt on Thundered Island. Yup, true. Some of the mages were accused of serving Nilfgaard and were arrested or killed. But they were, most of them, or some of them at least. Important sorcerers who were there for a meeting due to inspire on the following day. Neutral mages also perished during the fighting. Among them was Hedin Gediminev. Remember the beginning of human colonization. Oh, that's a shame. Soon after, Tissia de Vries committed suicide. Yeah. Her death marked the end of the Brotherhood and the advent of a new order. After the revolt on Thundered Island, some of the surviving sorceresses grew in prominence. Philippa Eilhard consolidated her position at Ravenia's court, while the elf Francesca Finderberg, Queen of the Valley of Flowers, expanded her involvement in human affairs. Triss Marigold, a younger sorceress representing Foltest's interests, also joined in shaping the new order. Yeah. Mages. This year is book law. Yeah, it's really just what just said in the book. Just stole. Teleport at Triss's. Teleport to where? Probably is just a fast travel around the world. Entering Pharaoh. But we've got some meteorite ore. Either make, you know. Ooh, that's about when Geralt died. A locked door and an exit, and another exit. Anyway, if we take the other book, we can sell that to the antiquary and make money. So I think we're gonna do that. We're gonna do it. No, we'll do it. Rivian Pilgrim, anonymous, based on eyewitness accounts. After the war, the people of Rivia were unhappy. Poverty was the plight of many, and most believed the kings and magnates. The magnates had betrayed them during the peace talks by not exacting reparations from Nilfgaard. A scapegoat was needed, and as usual it was the changelings, non-humans and witches. A mere spark was required to send a furious crowd into the streets. Anyone who seemed different was targeted. Dwarves, elves, and those accused of using spells were all murdered. People also used the situation to settle old scores, loot and rape. I admit shamefully that few were brave enough to stand in defense of the persecuted. Among those few was the famous Geralt of Rivia, who, in seeking to protect his friends, was struck with a pitchfork and died. There would have been more victims if not for the intervention of Triss Marigold. The sorceress sent a powerful hailstorm down on the crowd. Only that powerful spell could stop the rioting. What happened to the body of Geralt of Rivia and those who stood by his side, I do not know. Geralt. Book and tell the Rivian program claims that Geralt, known as also as the White Wolf, died during a massacre of non-humans. He did, by all means. Program took place in the city of Rivia just after the war with Nilfgaard, true. Killed by an angry mob when he tried to defend the oppressed. Sorceress Triss Marigold and Dwarf Sultan Chive witnessed his death. The witch's body was never found. Plenty of other people were there, including Yennefer of Vengerberg and a certain other character, which I will not mention yet because it's not really all that relevant, and the game here seems to just not want to tell us anything. Hasn't even and of course, you know, with a djinn, that was also Yennefer of Vengerberg, alongside Geralt. But yeah. Chapter 3 awaits.